Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Chris.
What are we up to today?
Today we are removing the internal components of our old quarantine system.
Who we've nicknamed Susan.
Who we've nicknamed Susan many years ago, nothing to do with me. Yeah, basically we're taking all the components out, we're going to clean them all up, we're going to keep the bits that are salvageable and chuck out the bits that are not salvageable, on the hope that someone might take it off our hands, or we can move it on to someone else, or sell it to someone else, or give it to someone else.
Yeah, Susan still works, doesn't she?
It's still a working filtration system, it's just that we're upgrading to an external outside tank, which is a much higher capacity than this system can cope with. So we're needing to upgrade all our filtration components as part of that. So this is all coming out.
Looks very complex.
It is fairly complex. She was quite a complex machine in her time.
We've got a UV setup back here, which helps eradicate any bacteria or parasites that might be in the water. This here is a protein skimmer, which I've never really understood, but basically, Chris, it just bubbles air up through a column of water.
Fine air through a column of water and traps all the particles of uneaten food, waste, things like that.
Yeah, like the scum you sometimes see on the top of a river, isn't it? It's like the brownish, bubbly.
Yeah, and if you've ever been to a hot tub, you'll see that a hot tub is rather scuzzy after you've been in it for a while. That's the principles of a protein skimmer.
Yeah. And what was this sand tower all about?
Sand tower is basically it's like the equivalent of our main filters, which are pressurized sand filters where you force water through sand to clean it. These ones are fluidized sand filters, and the actual water bubbles up through here. This is full of fine sand, and that's where your biological filtration takes place. And then the unit at the back is a trickle tower, which is full of tiny little shards of plastic on which all the what we call denitrifying bacteria live.
Yeah, good bacteria for sure, aren't there? We need bacteria in most of our filters, don't we, just to help.
It breaks it down, so basically
down.
It's all part of the nitrogen cycle of breaking down ammonia down into a nitrogen gas, which can then bubble off. Too much ammonia in your system is bad, too much nitrite is bad, too much nitrate, so you need all the bacteria to break each one of the compounds down into the next one.
So yeah, Susan was pretty good for helping keep the water clean for quarantine, but as Chris says, because we're upgrading to a new quarantine system, there's no more reason for Susan. So yeah, we'll maybe do another little video in a bit and see how we're getting on, see how much of this we've managed to take apart. Cheers for now. Right, Chris, how are we getting on removing quarantine?
So about 3 hours work or whatever. We've basically componentized everything into as small a bit as we can get. Most of it's been cleaned, pressure washed. This is kind of, apart from the incoming bit of filtration, this is the last bit to come out. This is the sump.
Looks disgusting.
It does look pretty foul, doesn't it? I think this is probably the first time the sump's been out in the 20 odd years we've had this unit.
I mean, actually, some of this is actually quite good for a system to have in it, isn't it? But
Yeah.
not when it's then come loose and churning around in the water. But yeah, Susan is
It's quite empty.
kind of empty in there. Good job. Now get pressure wash this thing as well. Good luck. Have fun.
You're the one in the wellies.